Welcome to your Health Facts. Today we'll be taking a deep dive into an interesting perspective on dental plaque and how to address it.
So to start off, let's make sure we all understand what exactly dental plaque is. You see, it's this sticky film, a biofilm made up of microbes, and it forms right on our teeth. And the interesting thing is how it's structured. This biofilm acts like a kind of protective barrier, almost like a calcium igloo for these microbes, which makes it much harder to get rid of. Essentially, the bacteria in plaque use the calcium that's naturally present in your saliva, and they build this hardened shell around themselves. That's a big part of why it's so tough to simply brush or floss it away.
That calcium igloo analogy definitely helps visualize it. But why should we actually be concerned about plaque? I mean, aside from the fact that the dentist scrapes it off during checkups.
Well, plaque is a major factor when it comes to some pretty common dental problems, things like gingivitis, bad breath, and even tooth decay. When you see plaque, it's a key sign that the balance in your oral microbiome has shifted. Now, the oral microbiome is a really complex community of all sorts of microorganisms living in our mouths. So when plaque forms, it basically means those harmful bacteria have started to outnumber the good bacteria, throwing off that whole delicate ecosystem.
I see. So then what contributes to this imbalance in the oral microbiome? Is it mainly what we eat, like, sugary foods and drinks?
Well, yeah, consuming too much sugar is definitely a major contributor to that plaque buildup. But it's not the only thing. There are a bunch of other things that can throw off this balance. Some of them might surprise you. Things like stress, smoking, drinking alcohol, and even, get this, certain chemicals found in everyday oral care products, things like mouthwash and toothpaste.
Chemicals in products meant for oral health. That does seem a little contradictory.
Oh.
Can you tell us more about which chemicals specifically are a concern and what they do to the oral microbiome?
One ingredient that sparked a lot of debate is fluoride. It's widely used in toothpaste and other oral care products to prevent cavities, that's true. But there are some ongoing discussions about its possible side effects. Some experts believe that fluoride can actually disrupt the balance of the oral microbiome. And another issue is that there's not enough comprehensive research on what happens with long-term exposure to fluoride. That's a concern for a lot of people. And then you have chlorhexidine, which is another ingredient found in a lot of mouthwashes. It's been linked to some potential disruptions in the oral microbiome as well. While chlorhexidine can be effective at reducing bacteria, it also has this tendency to increase acidity levels in the mouth that can actually raise the risk of tooth decay over time.
So given these concerns about certain ingredients, are there other things we could do to fight plaque buildup and keep a healthy, balanced oral microbiome?
Well, one of the best ways to fight that plaque buildup and get your oral microbiome back in a good place is to actually focus on restoring that balance of good bacteria in your mouth. And you can do that by bringing more probiotic-rich foods into your diet.
That's interesting. Are we talking about the same kinds of probiotics you find in yogurt and supplements? How exactly do those probiotics actually help oral health?
Yeah, exactly the same kinds of beneficial bacteria that you'd find in fermented foods like yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, all those. Those foods are packed with live cultures of good bacteria, which are the probiotics. And when you eat these foods, those probiotics, they can actually help repopulate your mouth with these friendly microbes. And what happens is these good bacteria, they basically compete with the harmful bacteria that are contributing to the plaque formation. They do this in a few ways. They consume resources that the bad bacteria would normally use to survive, and they produce substances that can actually inhibit the growth of those harmful bacteria. And then they just take up space on your teeth, which stops the bad bacteria from latching on and forming that plaque in the first place.
So by adding those probiotic-rich foods into our diet, we're making a more welcoming environment for the good bacteria in our mouths, keeping those harmful bacteria in check. Are there any other things we can do to help this process along and improve our oral health even more?
Oh, absolutely. Maintaining good oral hygiene is really key for supporting a healthy oral microbiome and preventing those issues that come with plaque.
Could you break down what exactly good oral hygiene means beyond the usual brushing and flossing?
Right. Well, regular brushing and flossing are super important for physically removing plaque and any food debris from your teeth. This physical removal stops that plaque buildup that lets harmful bacteria thrive. So when you brush, make sure you're using a soft bristled toothbrush and a fluoride-free toothpaste. While fluoride does have its benefits, it can also mess with that balance of your oral microbiome. So going fluoride-free lets you clean effectively without the possible downsides of fluoride. And when it comes to flossing, make sure to do it at least once a day to get rid of plaque and debris between your teeth where your toothbrush just can't reach.
What about mouthwash? Earlier, we talked about how some mouthwash ingredients can be bad for the oral microbiome. Are there any types that are actually helpful or at least don't disrupt that bacteria balance in our mouths?
Yeah, you're right. Some mouthwashes are really harsh and they can definitely disrupt that delicate balance in the oral microbiome. But there are some options out there that are designed to promote a healthy balance instead of just wiping out all the bacteria. Look for mouthwashes with natural ingredients and stay away from the ones with harsh chemicals like chlorhexidine. There are even some natural mouthwashes that have probiotics in them to specifically help the growth of beneficial bacteria in your mouth.
So it seems like a holistic approach is really important here. Combining a diet with lots of probiotics and good oral hygiene like brushing, flossing, and being careful about what products we use can really make a difference in keeping a healthy, balanced oral microbiome and preventing those plaque-related problems.
Exactly. By taking this holistic approach to oral health, we're shifting our focus from just getting rid of bacteria to actually creating an environment that helps the good bacteria grow and that helps prevent the bad bacteria from taking over, and it's a better way to promote long-term oral health.
This deep dive has really been eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's amazing how small changes in our diet and habits can have such a big impact on our overall health.
It really is. Our oral health is closely connected to our overall health and well-being. It really is amazing, how something as simple as what we eat, like adding those probiotic-rich foods, can make such a big difference in our oral health.
It really does show you just how connected everything is in our bodies and how important it is to think about health in a holistic way.
Absolutely. And remember, oral health isn't just about having a bright smile. It's about maintaining a healthy balance throughout your entire body.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about when it comes to dental plaque and the importance of that balanced oral microbiome.
It really has. And for anyone looking for more information and resources on keeping their mouths healthy, you can visit yourhealthfacts.com.
That's right. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those pearly whites shining.